Hello, and welcome to our employment discrimination presentation. Today we are going to discuss employment discrimination and policies and procedures that protect against such actions. Employment discrimination, as described in our textbook, is when an employer treats an employee differently based on certain characteristics. To have a better understanding of employment discrimination, let's go ahead and look at the Civil Rights Act, Title VII, which gives a deeper description. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits against discrimination of race, gender, sexual orientation, military status, age, disability, and religion. The EEOC, or the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, is the oversight for Title VII violations. They receive claims and cases from employees who believe that their rights have been violated due to employment discrimination. Of course, not all cases are accepted with priority, and class acts cannot be filed against individual employers. However, if a group of individuals was presenting a case, they must prove that a company-wide policy acted in a manner that was discriminatory and affected all individuals in said company.
According to Chapter 21, discrimination based on race is when your employer is discriminating against one person based on their ethnicity or ancestry. A lot of groups that do face this kind of discrimination is Native Americans, African Americans, and Hispanics. Now moving along to discrimination based on gender. In Chapter 21, it states that an employer cannot discriminate on an employee based on their sex and or gender, along with refusing to give an employee a promotion based on their gender is strictly prohibited. Along with gender discrimination, sexual orientation discrimination is also a big thing that is prohibited in the workplace. If an employee is gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, or part of the LGBTQ community in general, it is prohibited to discriminate based on that. Moving right along, we're going to talk about discrimination based on military status. In Chapter 21, it states that an employer cannot discriminate against an employee on if they served in the military or not. And if they do discriminate against that, there can result into legal actions. Moving right along, we're going to talk about discrimination based on disability. In Chapter 21, it states that if an employer fails to accommodate a disabled employee or treats them any differently, that could result into legal action. At the end of the day, a workplace is supposed to be very welcoming, inviting, and a place that everyone wants to show up every single day. Moving right along, we're going to talk about discrimination based on age. In Chapter 21, it states that an employer cannot discriminate against ones that are 40 years or older, meaning that they cannot hire, fire, promote, or pay based on their age solely. And finally, to wrap this all up, we're also going to talk about discrimination based on religion. This is when an employer tries to discriminate against an employee or a job applicant based on their religion, which is strictly prohibited. An employer cannot discriminate against one that's Muslim, Catholic, Christian, Mormon, or even atheist.
What defenses to employment discrimination are available? Business necessity justifies an employment decision must relate to the specific job and be non-discriminatory. A bona fide occupational qualification. Certain jobs may legitimately require a specific characteristic or trait. Seniority systems. Ranks based on those who have worked there longer. Benefits, pay raise, promotion. These are certain types of work systems that can help out or affect you in the workplace. After acquiring evidence of employment misconduct, evidence discovered by an employer for an adverse employment.
Now we're going to move along and talk about affirmative action because at the end of the day, what does that even mean? Affirmative action refers to policies, practices designed to combat discrimination in education, employment, and other areas alike. These measures aim to promote equal opportunity, diversity of groups such as people of color, women, individuals with disability, people that served in the military, people with religious backgrounds, and people that are part of the LGBTQ+ community. And some may argue that affirmative action is necessary to address past and ongoing injustices and to ensure that individuals have equal chance to succeed in life.
And that will wrap up this presentation. We hope that after receiving the provided information, that employers would be able to make conscious efforts to prevent employment discrimination within the workplace, adhering to the guidelines of Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and various other policies and procedures that protect against discrimination in the workplace. Thank you, and have a good day.